Hold on to your butts, Marvel fans. I have some updates about coming Marvel projects that are, at the same time, really freaking cool, but also kind of disappointing as they indicate more delays.
What did he say?
In fact, at this point, I wouldn't be surprised if Avengers Secret Wars was delayed again to the end of 2026 or possibly even into 2027.
You serious?
And I know that sucks, but it's not all bad news. And in fact, a lot of the stuff that is being shuffled around right now is due to the fact that Kevin Feige and Marvel Studios are taking the criticism of the MCU's Phase 4 very seriously, and they are trying to put quality way over quantity. So first up in this video, we're going to break down exactly what is currently being talked about as far as being delayed and what other projects are now coming into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And then we are going to talk about why this is happening and why it might actually be good for Avengers Secret Wars, because really it is all about Avengers Secret Wars. That needs to be absolutely epic and fan-freaking-tastic, and I think some of this stuff is going to help that to be the case. Okay, so first up, this was shared by a variety of different folks. I believe Great Phase first put this on people's radars. It was backed up by Big Screen Leaks, and there was even a big post put into the Marvel Studios spoilers subreddit. It has to do with Marvel fast-tracking two projects that are going to be very important to Secret Wars. One is a Disney Plus show based on Strange Academy, or at least it's being called the Strange Academy show. And this is a show that is said to star Wong and America Chavez, but then also Doctor Strange 3 is said to be streamlined, and they want that movie to come out before Avengers Secret Wars. But those aren't the only projects that are being shuffled around, and there are a ton of new projects being pushed forward by Marvel Studios. What if Season 2 is reportedly being shifted all the way into next year? This was something a lot of people thought would come out in 2023. The Echo show is also being delayed until early 2024, and from the reports we've heard behind the scenes from Echo, that show needs a lot of work, so they're likely going to restructure a lot of things, maybe even do some rewrites and do some reshoots to make that show really, really good. And a relatively new show that's being talked about a lot, Agatha Coven of Chaos, has been delayed all the way until 2025. It's being pushed all the way back till after Daredevil Born Again airs. On top of that, it's being reported that Miss Marvel Season 2 and Moon Knight Season 2 will both premiere before Avengers Secret Wars. Apparently, World War Hulk is absolutely a movie, and it is coming out. Apparently, we're going to get a Vision Quest show, which will focus on Viv and the Young Avengers. There's supposed to be a Nova movie coming out. There's supposed to be a Midnight Suns movie coming out, and Armor Wars is supposed to come out before Avengers Secret Wars, and we're being told that Armor Wars might actually get a name change. Now, again, there are two main reasons that these things are being delayed. One main reason is so that they are high-quality productions. Kevin Feige is currently reworking a lot of stuff behind the scenes and focusing down on quality over quantity, and even little shows like Agatha are probably being looked at by Kevin Feige to be very meaningful, to add a lot of impact to the wider MCU, and to be incredible products in it of themselves. Now, in an article on thecosmiccircus.com talking about the Strange Academy show, Alex Perez says that Strange Academy is meant to be one of the more important tie-in stories leading into the Kang Dynasty, as it will also tie into multiple aspects of the MCU aside from the supernatural. And this is really fascinating when you also consider that Doctor Strange 3 is being fast-tracked, and it seems like that will also be massively important to what happens in the Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars. So that's all the official information that we have. Now let me just speculate. Let me go to speculation town and tell you why I think this is happening. So I think the main reason that a lot of these projects are either being delayed or these new projects are being streamlined is because they have now fine-tuned the script for the Kang Dynasty and for Secret Wars. Jeff Loveness and Michael Waldron have both been working on the scripts for the next two Avenger movies for months at this point, and I believe what has happened is they have gotten to the place where they know more or less the major themes and the things from Marvel's Phases 4, 5, and 6 that will be very very important in these two movies. And I think these two writers and likely a lot of the producers at Marvel Studios looked at all of this stuff, took a step back, and realized that there were certain concepts that were not developed enough for the normies or the mass audience to get into the Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars and understand. And I think there are two main things that need developed further, and it's magic in the MCU or the supernatural side of how the Marvel Universe works, but then the other side is the cosmic side of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And I also believe that the connection between these two big aspects of Marvel is going to be incredibly important to understand the next two Avengers films. And it's interesting that Alex Perez says that this new show with America Chavez and Wong is going to be super important to understanding Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars, because it's not just going to talk about the supernatural side of Marvel. And so this show, and possibly Doctor Strange 3 as well, I think are going to serve to take the mainstream audience member and sort of get them to understand the cosmic side of things in the multiverse, the magical side of things in the multiverse, and how these two things are connected. It feels like they wanted to avoid what happens between the WandaVision show and the Multiverse of Madness, where a lot of people feel like you just jump ahead to this version of Wanda, and there wasn't like this second beat that shows her really succumbing to that evil. And Doctor Strange learning more and more about the incursions with his, adventure with Clea and his own powers of the Darkhold manifesting. He's obviously a really important character that can help audiences understand this magic and science and cosmic connection, and hopefully he will play a big role in what's going to be happening in the Kang Dynasty and in Secret Wars. It's also possible a show like Agatha Coven of Chaos is being delayed so much because they're finding ways to introduce some of those elements in a show like that as well. I mean, Billy Kaplan and the Demerge are also really crazy cosmic and magical concepts within the Marvel multiverse, and one must wonder if that's also something that's going to be at play in the Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars. And so this may mean a delay in Avengers Secret Wars, possibly even a delay for Avengers the Kang Dynasty, but I think it will ultimately be good for Marvel fans and for the experience of understanding these next two Avenger movies. I think they're doing the right thing by focusing in on what they need to do. And by the way, this isn't like a non-normal thing. Marvel has always done this. Like, they have the broad strokes of what the future plan is going to be, but they tweak it and develop it as time goes on. And so as they are becoming more clear about the ideas they're going to explore later on, they now understand the tweaks and the changes they need to make to the current slate. And another big reason why this is so important is because I believe that the greater cosmic ideas of Marvel Comics are going to come into play past Avengers Secret Wars in the next saga, which will likely be the Eternity Saga or the Timeless Saga. There's a lot of evidence that Feige's going to go crazy with Celestials, Eternals, Deviants, and even the Mutants, putting a really wild cosmic spin on all of this stuff in a post-Avengers Secret Wars MCU. And so this is stuff that absolutely has to make sense to the normies and to the mainstream audience in order for all of this stuff to work after that. Smash a like on this video if you liked it. Make sure to subscribe to this channel and our live streaming channel so you don't miss your chance to win the dope nerdy stuff we give away each month. And if you want to watch more, why not check out this big breakdown I recently did of the new Quantumania trailer and the old plot leaks that give us a really good idea of what Kang is after in that movie.